Hey guys, it's me Bert and welcome back to my channel. So for today I wanted to show you how I accomplish these brows. I've been using powders as of late to create my brows and I wanted to show you how I was accomplishing that. So if you want to see how I did that, please stay tuned and thanks! Okay, so the tools that we're going to need in order to complete our brows are a brow brush, and you can see it's just a thin brush that's got an angle to it. So any brush, sometimes they call it a liner brush, but essentially, and you want it to be kind of stiff, you don't want it to be too flimsy. And the other side has a spoolie on it. You can do these as separate brushes, combined brush like this one, whichever way you have, whatever you can find, whatever works best for you. For the other thing that you'll need, I am using brow powder. Now this is one that I got in my BoxyCharm by Bodyography. You can see it's just a triple. It has kind of a blondish tone, a real dark tone, and then a like more chocolatey brown tone, a reddish tone. You can use matte eyeshadows. Makeup Geek has a couple that would really work great. The Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette has a bunch that actually probably would work really great. But again, it's that whole idea of you want it to be matte. Obviously, you don't want sparkly brows. That's a whole other video. What you want to do is, I always kind of brush the brows into the shape that I want them. So that way I don't have to fight with them as much. So what I do is I'm going to go ahead and use the darker tone, and I just basically dip it in once, like flat down, dip it in. And how I start my brows is I start on the underside and I'm aiming for here, so being in line with the outside of the nostril, the inside corner of the eye. That's where your brow should start. And essentially I'm drawing a straight line with a slight upwards angle. So once I've done the bottom, then I move to the top. Now the top, I don't start all the way out here. I actually start a little bit in. And again, doing basically the same thing. Drawing a straight line, this time with the more, it's a tapered angle. So I'm getting closer to this line down here. It's not really completely downward, so I didn't want to say downward. Alright, and once I have that, then I'll start my tail. And usually I make it kind of short to start with because I can always lengthen it out. And then I'll start kind of filling it in. And I'm softening this bottom so it's more rounded and not so angled. Can you guys even see? So once I get the tail about the way I want it and the angle I want it, before I finish off this one, I'll go ahead and do the other one. And I start the exact same way. Now when I'm doing the other side, I'll do a little bit and look at myself with the tail. Do a little bit more, and again look at myself. I'm trying to make sure that the angle is similar. The nice thing about doing with powders, if it's not, you can basically take your finger, give it a good rub, and erase it. And then try again. Now remember, they are brows. They don't have to be twins, but they should look like sisters. So to finish my brows, what I'll do is I typically will like fill in the body, and then when I get to the front, I'll go to the line and essentially kind of flick upwards. And then sometimes I'll even take my brow and do straight on and kind of pull it back. So what I'm trying to do is kind of soften it to the start and then deepen it as it goes. And by flicking upwards like this, I'm getting rid of the more line of it and again softening it up. And again, taking a step back, looking at myself, making sure they're kind of even. Again, if you don't like the shape of something, you can basically take your finger and kind of erase it. And yeah, that's how I do my brows with powder. The next thing I might do is essentially take a clear brow gel, put it over the top to kind of seal it down. But I found lately I haven't really had to do that, so I've been kind of leaving that alone. So that's how I do my brows using powder. I hope you guys learned something out of this. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. And we'll see. Don't forget to subscribe and give me that thumbs up. And we'll see you next time. Bye. I've been using powders as of late in order to create my brows. I want to make my brows. It's hot in here. Am I still recording? Why am I still recording? Let's stop that.